Hey y'all, I'm Val with OurForeverFarm and I'm glad you're here. Today we're gonna do crockpot apple butter. It's gonna be fun and easy and I'm gonna can mine. Let's get to cooking.
So the first thing we do is wash our apples really good. I use a vinegar and water mix and just wash them, and then we peel them, and this little handy dandy peeler just does good if the handle will stay on. Sometimes it aggravates me because the handle comes off, but most of the time it does good peeling and cutting them in spiral pieces. And it not only peels and slices, it cores them too. So I just have a bowl that I'm putting all the peelings and the cores in. Now I always want to try to get most of the peels off. If it doesn't come off with this, you can just take a knife and take care of that real quick. I have disinfected the countertops, so if you think that it might not be sanitary, it is, I promise you. Now what I'm doing is I'm putting the whole apples over in the crock pot. Apples will stay a long time in your refrigerator. I actually bought these back in the fall, just now doing them.
Okay, so here I've got a crock pot full of apples. Hope you can see that. It's probably, if I was guessing, 12 maybe to 15. I didn't count them. You want to get as much of the peeling off as you can. I'm going to turn my crock pot on low. Now before I start, I'll tell you about these. This is the cores and the peels. I'm going to actually freeze mine just in a Ziploc bag because I don't have time to do it right now. But later on, I'll be putting it in the roaster, cook it all night on low, and I'll make some apple jelly. Today we're making apple butter. I like to have my apple butter dark. My granny used to make apple butter in a dish pan on her stove, and she stirred and she stirred and she stirred. But she always used half white sugar and half brown sugar. Brown sugar has molasses in it. That's all it is white sugar with molasses in it. That's how you make brown sugar, in case you don't know. Okay, I had to call my Sweet Hunter in here to help me. Say, hey.
Hey, everybody.
All right. I can't hold the cup and do the sugar at the same time. So we're adding two. That's okay. That's okay. We're adding 2 cups of white sugar. Go ahead and dump it. You don't have to spread it.
I like spreading.
You like spreading it? Okay. It don't matter if you get more. It doesn't matter. It's just going to make it sweeter. Okay, hold that thought. I still need you. Okay, now we're going to do 2 cups of brown sugar.
Hey, we almost match.
Yeah, we do, almost. This one's hard to pour. Hold on just a second. I'm going to press it down because we might have to do it like this. Okay, you can dump that. Think it'd be easier just to do this with you holding it?
You got a bigger spoon, right?
I can't get down in there but with a bigger spoon.
Okay.
Do you know what we're making, Sweet Hunter?
It's like we're making some apple.
Something apple?
Yeah.
He says we're making something apple, y'all.
With brown sugar and sugar.
That's right. Thank you. That's all I need you for. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
If I'm looking like a weakling today, I have a bad shoulder and a crick in my neck for some reason, and I'm in pain. So that's why I needed him to help. He wasn't prepared, I don't think. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add 4 teaspoons of ground cinnamon. Now it calls for 1/4 teaspoon of cloves. A lot of people don't like cloves, so if you don't want to add that, you don't have to. But I'm using ground cloves. I actually like cloves, so I'm adding 1/4 teaspoon in here. Now, y'all, I'm not even going to stir this up. The spices and the sugars are on top. Again, I use half white sugar and half brown sugar, but you can use all white sugar. You can use, I don't know if I would use all brown sugar. It might be too strong. I'm going to add 1 cup of water. Now, the Ball Canning book asks for 2 cups of water, but I don't know how juicy these apples are. And I'm going to let them cook for about 2 or 3 hours. I gave them just enough water where they won't burn. And I'm going to put the lid on, and I'm going to cook them for 2 or 3 hours and see if they need more water. If they do, I'll add 1 more cup. And that's when I'll stir this. It's on low. I'm mashing it down in the crock pot, and I hate to waste that sugar. And cook it for 2 to 3 hours. You really don't have to watch it. It's going to cook fine with that 1 cup of water. In 2 to 3 hours, we're actually leaving to go somewhere. I'll come back and check, just stir it around and get the spices and the sugar down in it. And then I will add more water if it needs it. But you want your apple butter, I like mine dark and thick. So this will actually cook all night once I come back and stir it in a couple hours and see if it needs any more water. If you're not ready to can it or freeze it like the next day, 8 to 10 hours, even 12 hours is good, as long as you don't let it burn. And usually in a crock pot, it won't burn. Whew, we're fixing to have a storm, I think. If you're not ready to cook it, to can it in the morning, which I'm canning mine, it's just Waterbath canning, then you can just cool this down, set it in the refrigerator until a day or 2 later, whenever you have more time. This is not really apple season, but I had all these apples and I've had them for quite a while and I needed to do something with them. So I love canning in the winter. It's almost spring now. I've got muscadines to do. I've still got salsa to do that I have stuff in my freezer ready to make all that. You can do so much in the winter, but this is easy. Reminds me of my grandma and my granny, my grandma Cochran and my granny Gribble. It's wonderful.
Hey y'all, it's the next day. If you hear a lot of work and hammering and scraping and talking, we've got carpenters out here. It's going to be that way for a few days. I'm going to finish my apple butter today. When I had the issue with my shoulder and neck pop up, I asked Sweet Hunter to take it down to the refrigerator downstairs. And so he's brought it back up. I'm heating it back up and I'm going to water bath it. Let's put this in the jar and get this done. I don't do my applesauce real smooth. Yeah, I can use the immersion blender and make that smoother, but I kind of like it chunky, more like cooked apples. And I like to use the liquid in it. It's just delicious on a buttered biscuit. So we are water bathing the apple butter today. I have warmed my jars. They're sterilized. I'm taking them out and I'm gonna fill them up. Isn't this beautiful? This is the texture we like it. If I have not mentioned it, you do not have to can this like I am. You can put this in the refrigerator. It will be good up to 3 months. You can put it in the freezer and it will be good for a year. I know y'all can tell I do not feel good, but I wanted to get this done. I'm putting the apple butter in the little jelly jars and I'm leaving an inch headspace. I didn't even go over and read that, but that's always safe to do. So I'm just getting this done. I'm sorry I don't feel good. I'm so sorry. Y'all pray for me. I think I've asked you that. We have some construction going on. I've told you that several times. I was talking to my electrician and he didn't realize you could can all year long. I may end up using all these jars. Who knows? So the only thing you do right now is you just get the air bubbles out, which is very, very simple. You take just some kind of utensil. Somebody gifted me this and I really appreciate it. I was just using a knife because I couldn't find mine. This also checks the headspace. You put it right there and like that shows that I have an inch headspace on there. I don't know if you can see how close that is, but if you set that on the edge of the jar, then it comes down to there. That's an inch headspace. I'm pretty close on most of these. When you wipe the top of the jars, you're getting the sticky stuff off, but you're also feeling for cracks. You don't want anything to interfere with the seal. Now this is just like any other canning you do. When you put the lids on, you want to do them finger tight. Oh, there's another cup jar I missed. Shoot. I would like to have that. That's a pretty little jar. Well, I'll use it next time. Look at that jar. That would have been so cute. I love these little jars. Okay, I checked my ball book for half pints and pints. It is 10 minutes to process these in a water bath. What you do is you wait till this water boils. When it starts boiling, that's when you do your timer, and then you're done. And I'm excited that that's done. I love doing any kind of canning, but when you're in pain, it's not fun. Now, this is the way the full boil will look. When it starts that full boil, you set your timer. To get the water off where y'all can see a close-up of it. Isn't that pretty? I like the little chunks in it. So pretty. Wish I'd done that in that little jar. Look how pretty. So here they are, y'all. Now, we'll take the rings off after 24 hours and put them in the pantry. But isn't that beautiful? Thank y'all for watching, and y'all go cook something.